Hello, I've put my sunglasses on, which can only mean that I'm going to start to go back down this mountain. This video is called Descent from Wind Cave. And let's just take one last look at Wind Cave and say goodbye to Wind Cave. Okay, that's goodbye to Wind Cave. And I'm going to give you a peek at the general direction that we're going to be headed in the next few minutes. Okay, that's enough for now. Okay, I've traveled about 15, 20, 25 feet now, and I just want to stop to say that the sun is shining. I am in the full warmth of the sun right now. I would say it's about 90 degrees. I have just I've just drunk a whole bottle of water, cold water, had ice cubes in it. So I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. I have to tell you, I was a little bit tired by the time I got to the top of this trail, but I rested for about 20 minutes. I'm feeling kind of refreshed and I'm ready to head back down. I don't think I'll be doing updates every 15 to 20 feet, but we'll see how that works out. Okay, well, I've gone about 5 more feet, and I just wanted to draw attention to the fact that somebody at some point has put a big sign of Phoenix into the side of the mountain over there. I'm pointing my cell phone in the general direction. I have no idea if you're going to be able to see it or not, but there it is, carved in stone or made with stones on the side of the mountain. It says Phoenix, and there's an arrow pointing in the direction of Phoenix. That's it for now. Okay, I've got another 50 feet or so. This is a big saguaro cactus. I don't know if you can see it. I can't really tell, but it looks like I'm pointing in the right direction. And that's one of many saguaro cactuses out here. And it's kind of unusual because it doesn't have any arms, which I guess means it's not very old yet. It's not old enough to grow arms yet, but there's many out here with lots of arms. Okay, we're rolling again, and this is the side of the mountain. We've maybe gone 200 feet since our last update, but I like these green and brown bands along the side of the mountain. I wish I could tell you something about them, but I really can't. I think that's lichen that's making the green color. And if Jackie was here, she could perhaps tell us the name of the lichen because she looked it up on her app yesterday, but I've already forgotten it. But it's just, there's just a lot of this lichen all over the place here. And it's also on the side of the mountain as well as on some rocks and things. Okay, we're going to look real quickly. That's the path that we just came down. If you can follow my finger, I have no idea whether you can or not, or if I'm even pointing in the right direction. If you can see that saguaro, that lone saguaro that's over there, that's the one that we looked at earlier. So we've just really started, and it's already feeling pretty warm out here, but I drank that full bottle of water and I'm feeling pretty refreshed, and my legs are doing pretty well. So I feel reasonably good as we proceed on our descent from Wind Cave. And anyway, just checking in, there's another large saguaro cactus. You can see that one has 4 arms. We call that a four-armed saguaro cactus. While we're up here near the top, just a few more glimpses of those brown and green bands. They're very visible from the base of the mountain, and when you get up close to them, it's really quite interesting. But as I said, I really don't know much about the geology of this mountain. We did watch a video last night. If anyone's interested, I could send you the link for that video later. Okay, here's a big old boulder, just sitting there alongside the trail. Um, it's bigger than most of the other boulders on the trail, and which, brings all sorts of questions to my mind, none of which I have any answers for. But again, here, let's just swoop along the top of this, whatever this side of this portion of this mountain to take another look. We've been sort of just walking along on a level trail, and pretty soon we're going to get to the section where we're going down. This is the front of that big old boulder, and it's yeah, I think you can see there's like a rock down there. Earlier in the morning, this casts quite a bit of shade, and so you can rest here before you make the final ascent to the wind cave. But by the time I got here this morning, it was almost noon, and so it was the shade had mostly gone. But I did stop here and take a drink. It was the first drink I took on the way up. I was trying to ration my water. I don't know if that was sensible or not, but I have like almost a full bottle going down, so I feel pretty good about that. Okay, if you can see that, this is kind of typical of the trail right here, although there are some sections that are actually a little windier and narrower, but basically, this is sort of the path that we're walking. And when I said it's going down, I should have said we're going switchback, until we reach a section of the trail where you actually do more or less go straight down. But even then, there's some switchbacks near the bottom. And boy, I almost fell there. So maybe I should be more careful. These rocks are really kind of abrasive, I guess. I mean, they're not jagged, but they're rough. They're rough along the sides of them, and I sort of just scraped my shin on one of them as we were going through it. I do have this walking stick, which helps quite a bit. My knees aren't as spry as they used to be, and going down is a little bit difficult, but I would say it's easier so far than going up. I mean, particularly the last section of the trail I found kind of challenging. Not so much because it was steep, but just because I was sort of tired from all the hiking before then, and also the heat, I'm sure, was taking its toll as well. Okay, just taking another look back up the mountain. You can see these two big boulders in front of me, and we're standing kind of in the middle of this big boulder field. I can only assume that these boulders were at one time further up the mountain, and they broke off and have fallen down here and have made this lovely boulder field formation. As you can see, there's lots of saguaros up here, and there's even more on our way down. This whole valley is just filled with saguaros, just one after another. They seem to be spaced about 10 to 20 feet apart. I mean, some are closer, but there seems to be some sort of spatial pattern going on. Again, I have no idea why that would be the case, but maybe it has something to do with water resources and the amount of water that each saguaro cactus uses, but that is just a pure guess on my part. I just saw a lizard, which is the fourth one that I've seen. I saw um, two, I just saw three on the way up, including a pair that looked like they were getting frisky, and then I just saw another one right now. It was a fairly good sized lizard. I would have tried to take a picture of it, but they're pretty quick. Talking about 25 minutes now. It's definitely easier going down than it is going up. Maybe just because, I mean, for one thing, I can see the trailhead, and on the way up, I really had no idea where I was going because it was my first time here, and I just wasn't certain how much further. And it was up, which, you know, the elevation gain, it's only about 1,000 feet, so it's not like I'm doing a 14K mountain or anything, but you know, the elevation gain at my age and in my situation is kind of a bit hard for me. You know, I don't want to go on too much about everything, but it was very satisfying to make it up there. I'm glad I was able to do that, and now I think I'm about halfway down and just gonna stop and take a drink and enjoy the view for a minute or two. I don't know if you can see it, but that's a lizard. There's a lizard right there in front of me. I don't know if this is in focus, but hopefully you can see him there on the rock behind this little shrub. Now he's climbing up. He's twitching a lot. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's some sort of signal. He had a mate, or at least a companion, but that one, he scurried away. He or she scurried away. So, anyway, that's the band again. And we were like right under that band, more or less. I never really expected to climb up that high. I guess we didn't go all the way to the whatever right hand side of the mountain. Maybe we just went to the right hand side before this little dip over here. I just discovered that maybe my finger has been blocking the viewfinder the whole time, so maybe these pictures aren't turning out that great, which would be a real shame because of all the effort I've been putting into this film. But anyway, that's where we were, and this is where we're headed now. Hey, I'm back at the condo now, and Jackie's taking a nap, so I have to talk pretty quietly because I don't want to wake her up. But basically, I wasn't able to document the entire descent because at some point I accidentally kept my camera on, and I recorded for like 8 minutes and of me walking down the mountain. All the images turned out upside down, and it completely filled up all the memory on my phone. In fact, I had to delete that video, unfortunately, because my phone basically stopped working. I couldn't transfer any files to the computer. But I think you got the gist of it. It was sort of like smooth sailing from that last point that, you know, I spoke to you on the side of the mountain. And, you know, if you asked me any advice, I would just say it's a lot easier going down than coming up, and make sure that you have plenty of water. I would have maybe, you know, liked to have had another bottle of water, then I wouldn't have felt like I needed to ration it on the way up, and that I might not have been so tired. Anyway, that's about the end of it, and if you want to stay around, you can watch the video that I made at the top of the mountain before I began the descent from Wind Cave. It actually shows more of Wind Cave, and you know, you might find that interesting. Also, because I was filming in selfie mode, a lot of the images, I mean most of the images, I would say all of the images, are reversed. So like when you're looking at the sign of Phoenix, it's spelled backwards and the arrow is pointing in the wrong direction, and the orientation of the mountain is completely off. So, you know, do not use this video as a guide for anything. I mean, or just basically, you know, whatever impressions you have of the mountain from this video, just like switch it around like 180 degrees, and that might be more or less accurate. Anyway, that was my first ever nature tour video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. So this is the view from Wind Cave. I climbed up here this morning. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes to reach the top, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. And the view you're looking at, to the extent you can see it at all, is the valley. I believe that's Mesa in the distance, and somewhere in the general vicinity is Scottsdale and Phoenix. Anyway, this is where we came on vacation, and I climbed up here this morning. We were going to go bike riding this morning, but had a bit of a mishap, and so Jackie's back at the condo resting, and I climbed up here by myself. It was about 90-degree temperature, so it was a little warm and definitely a little sweaty. There's bees up here at the top, so it makes it a little bit anxious to sit here for too long. In fact, I thought the bees had decided to leave me alone, but now that I've started talking again, one has come back and is hovering around me. But anyway, it's a pretty view. It's called Wind Cave, but it's not really that much of a cave, although, you know, who am I to say what's a cave and what's not a cave? I don't know if this is going to turn out, but I'll just swoop past it and you can take a look. There it is. It's just kind of an indentation in the side of this mountain, which I believe is called Pass Mountain. And it's almost all the way to the top, but not quite to the top. But this is on one side of the mountain, so it's kind of on the edge of the mountain. It's not, we're not near the peak by any means. So anyway, I just thought I'd make this quick little video and see how it turns out. And this is, anyway, this is me signing off. See you later. Bye.